Hello and welcome to All Shorts here in France. In the previous video I talked about how talktv and GB News were both losing money, around £35 million each. Well, it's a failed business model, and it was always going to be a failed business model, just like Brexit was always going to be a failed business model. Nobody wants to invest in the United Kingdom, but equally nobody wants to invest in talktv or GB News unless it's foreign money, it seems. GB News, for instance, have been paid from the Saudi Arab Emirates. talktv, they get their money from Keith Rupert Murdoch, the Aussie, news group and all that. But unfortunately for them, they can't attract any advertising revenue. Not enough advertising revenue, because marketing companies and the companies they represent, they pretty much boycott these far-right propaganda news channels because they don't want to be associated with the far right. Doesn't do their business any good. People boycott their products, so they won't advertise. So they are failed business models as far as I can see, and it always will be the case. So why do they exist? Well, they exist for one purpose only, and that's propaganda. They are selling a lie, and that's pretty much what propaganda is. Or they try to enhance the negative in a way to suit their agenda, their narrative. That's the only reason they pretty much exist. So, as a business, with a profit and loss, a balance sheet, GB News and talktv is a failure. But as far as propaganda, if that is what you're buying, well then quite frankly your investment has been well placed, hasn't it? After all, isn't that why we got Brexit in the first place? Through propaganda, lies, manipulated truths, exaggerated truths. Well, yeah, just exaggerations of some, I don't know, for instance, unelected bureaucrats in Brussels. What a load of rubbish that is. Doesn't it, mean that Nigel Farage was unelected? No, he was elected. But the fact is, people didn't bother to vote, so he didn't require a huge amount of voting people to get him to be an MEP. No. If you don't vote, how can you really have a say, I suppose? And I suppose that brings me on to the local elections. The Tories are likely to lose around 1,000 seats. Let's just make sure that happens. Make sure you've got your ID card, because ID cards are required now, or a form of identification. If you haven't got a driving licence or a passport, just make sure you've applied for that ID card so you can vote. Otherwise, well, and abstaining your vote as well, that's another stupid thing to do. Don't do that either. If you don't like the Tories, vote against them. Simple as that. If you're not happy with what the Tories are doing, vote against them. Anyway, I digress. So what do you reckon regarding GB News and talktv? Leave it in the comments down below. But also, can you think of any companies that were boycotted, or companies that, boycotted far-right news channels? I can't remember what it was. Didn't Copenberg, the cider people, didn't they get boycotted, or they boycotted somebody? I don't know. I can't remember now. Leave it in the comments down below. Ta-ta.